Saturday. The all-new Delaware County Today, presented by Muncie Community Schools. Now on WMUN, the Talk of Muncie. Here's your host, Director of News Operations and lead morning anchor, Steve Lindell.
Thank you very much, Tom Campbell, the voice of WMUN, who is friends with an IU legend. I'll speak to Don Fischer in just about a moment. We had some activity on campus at Ball State overnight. We'll tell you what we know today, and the fog start around here has been quite thick. We'll give you a weather update on that and everything, like always, with WMUN meteorologist Paul Poteet.
Major meltdown over the weekend and just a little bit of rain. We had about 1/10 of an inch generally. That amount was much higher down to our south of I-70. In the meantime, rain chances will return later this week. We're still into a drought situation. It would be nice to catch up on that while we catch up on some nicer temps. 55 today. Patches of morning fog first on Monday and then some sunshine. Down to 39, partly cloudy tonight. Partly, then mostly cloudy for Tuesday. Tomorrow's high, 56. It's only going down to 51 Tuesday night. Maybe some showers after midnight. Scattered showers and storms Wednesday, 66. And then on Thursday, afternoon and evening, scattered showers and thunderstorms. They could be strong on Thursday, 64 for the high temp. Friday, we're partly sunny and 53, and it will be cooler this weekend into the 40s, dry Saturday. Maybe a few rain and snow showers Sunday, upper 30s then. There's your WMUN Muncie weather. Back to you, Steve.
All right, thanks very much, Paul Poteet, meteorologist. Hourly updates on WMUN and the rest of the Wolf Boom Radio Group. Let's get on to our first guest of the week. What you want to do is you want to start big in radio. You want to start with the big guest first, and I've got the biggest of the big. He happens to be the voice of IU sports, and I've got Don Fischer with us on a plain old telephone line right now. Mr. Fischer, it is a pleasure to talk to you, sir.
Nice talking to you, Steve. Looking forward to it.
The long story is, the short story, the newest story, the voice of not only IU, but of the national champions of football. In your life, Mr. Fischer, did you see this one coming?
Well, I kind of saw it coming last year when I got to know Curt Cignetti a little bit and had a chance to interview him a couple of times before spring practice, and then I watched the spring practices, and I just got the feeling that this guy was special. And then, of course, they went into the fall, and they went 11-2, got to the college football playoff, and I went, yep, he's the real deal, and there's no question in my mind he's going to win, just like he said he was. And he continues to do exactly that. And, of course, he's brought a national championship to the Hoosier Nation at this point, which is unbelievable at this point in time in history, because what he did is history-making.
The voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fischer, is our guest, been the play-by-play voice of Indiana men's basketball and football since 1973. Here's my question to you now. More interesting coach from a broadcaster's perspective, and why? Curt Cignetti or Bob Knight?
Well, you could say that they are two different. There could be a peas in a pod,
okay.
But I would say in some ways they are, in some ways they are not. And without question, Coach Knight was one of the greatest coaches in the history of college basketball. 3 national championships, all at Indiana. Was a tremendous coach no matter who you talk to, and obviously was a coach to coaches as well. And so from that standpoint, he was really special. And obviously there was a lot of controversy surrounding the coach, as well as everybody knows. But from Indiana's standpoint, as far as the football is concerned, nobody has done what Curt Cignetti has done at Indiana University. In the history of college football, nobody has done what he has done this quickly and done it as well as he has. And in my mind, that puts him at the top of anybody that you want to talk about from a coaching perspective.
You've done other football bowl games before in your career, your storied one with IU, but this was obviously a little different. You were busy with football, and then basketball crosses over. How did you manage the scheduling with all of that? It must have been a little tighter than even usual for you.
Well, especially at my age.
Oh, come on, spring chicken.
Yeah, I wish I was a spring chicken, trust me. I will tell you this, it was manageable, but it was difficult in the sense of dealing with all the things you have to deal with and getting prepped for every ball game that you were going to do, whether it be football or basketball, and having those two sports intertwined over the last several years now, because that's how it's been for a long time. But the challenging part of this one was Indiana has never gone into January, past January 1, to do any football games.
Yeah.
And this year we went into it with several football games to do after they won the Big Ten championship.
National.
I can only tell you this, Steve,
Yeah.
I can tell you this.
Yeah.
This is the most fun I've ever had in broadcasting, simply because of the success that this team has had football-wise. And I do believe that this Indiana basketball team is pretty good, too. It's not a great team, but it's a team that plays the way Indiana fans want a team to play, with great defense, really good offense. They do not have the talent level that a lot of teams have, and yet they've won some ball games that many people didn't think they could win. So this is a great time in Indiana University basketball and football history.
If he sounds familiar, he is Don Fischer. We're on WMUN's Delaware County Today. People are still talking about you national championship. You said this has been the most fun you've ever had. Don, you've been in national championship situations in hoops in 76 and 81 and 87, a perfect season for the Hoopsters in 75-76, and then a perfect season for football. Which perfect season might be more memorable between the basketball one and the football one? More memorable, the perfect season from the men's basketball or the perfect season from the football one?
Well, I don't know how you disseminate that, because I think all three of those national championships in basketball were fantastic, and they all had different areas of greatness to them. And I think from a football's perspective, we've never seen it in football at Indiana. So I don't know how to disseminate the fact that one is better than the other or more memorable than the other. All four, to my opinion, are as memorable as anything you could put on the table.
Mr. Fischer, this is a bucket list interview for me. I had the good fortune of working for and with Mr. Maury Mannies, God rest his soul. And when you talk about broadcasters like Mr. Mannies and Mr. Fischer, there are just not a lot of you with this kind of longevity and skill set. Do you ever find yourself pinching yourself that you're in the middle of Indiana University broadcasting and you were able to stay in this for as long as you have now?
Never thought that it would happen this way or this long, to be quite honest with you, but I've been blessed. The good Lord has taken care of my health for me through these years. I've had a chance to do some of the greatest things that any broadcaster would want to be able to do, and without question, my career has been one of, that I can only say, blessings have been mine throughout. The good Lord has taken care of me in so many ways, and I look at it this way, Steve. I never thought that I could get to this point. I never thought it would happen for me. I was a guy that never graduated. I graduated high school but never went to college, and I started working at the railroad way back when, and in those years I thought, man, this is a pretty good job with the railroad, and then found out that this might be a better one, and without question, it's been the life of Riley for me from that perspective. And I don't know if a lot of people know who Riley was, but that saying came into being a long, long time ago.
Got you for just 30 more seconds. Want to be respectful of your time. Don Fischer, National Sports Media Association's Indiana Sportscaster of the Year, just 27 times. You were awarded the prestigious National Football Foundation and College Hall of Fame's Chris Schenkel Award. Chris Schenkel actually has a tie to one of our radio stations. He worked for WLBC in Muncie, one of ours, way back when. Last nugget here, I come to you with the person that actually facilitated the interview. His name is Tom Campbell, and he tells me, did you say who?
Yes, I did.
Tom Campbell tells me that you have a wicked slice on the golf course. Can you confirm or deny?
I deny a slice. I might have a wicked hook, but not a slice.
Don Fischer, it is a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for doing this. I hope we can do it again sometime. Best of luck to you.
Steve, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Don Fischer, the voice of IU, the national football champions, and all of the basketball fame they've had through the years as well. As we continue with more in a moment, this is Delaware County Today on WMUN.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use a...
You know, the Bible tells us, I will bless those who bless you. That's not just a nice sentiment. It's a command. It's prophecy. And right now we're called to act on it. Supporting the people of Israel isn't just a belief. It's something we do. And there's a powerful way to do that through the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, or IFCJ. They're on the ground in Israel every day, blessing lives in real, tangible ways. They're feeding elderly Holocaust survivors who have no one else. They're building bomb shelters to protect school children from rocket attacks. They're living out the values we read about in Scripture, and so can you. The Bible doesn't say wait and see. It says act. And when you give a gift of $45 to IFCJ to help provide food, shelter, and more for those in desperate need, you're putting faith into action. Call 888-488-IFCJ or visit ifcj.org to bless Israel today. Again, that's ifcj.org or 888-488-IFCJ. One more time, ifcj.org or 888-488-IFCJ.
Want to hear more? Replays uploaded daily on WMUNmuncie.com. Now back to Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell, presented by Muncie Community Schools.
That is the voice of the aforementioned Tom Campbell, the voice of WMUN. We're in our video studio. I've been promising you guests at the bottom of the hour to talk about Parker. It's not Parker City, by the way. It's officially Parker when you live there. They'll explain about their great business upgrades coming soon. That's in just a couple of minutes. That's called a radio tease right there. I'm Steve Lindell. Now on to our local news summary. These stories and more airing on all of our stations in East Central Indiana and now here on WMUN. President's Day today.
The post office is observing the federal holiday by closing all of its offices. The stock market is also closed, but national parks are open. I'm Tom Graham, Fox News.
Chris Walker and Tim Overton both withdrew their names for the Republican primary for Indiana State House Rep District 34. Two candidates remain on the GOP primary. The winner will face the lone Democrat there. Madison County Republican Party Chair Kelly Hewer has filed challenges with the Madison County Election Board against three candidates she says has not voted in two consecutive Republican primary elections. See the names on our local news page. The Indiana House passed a bill Thursday that supporters say will keep Indiana from becoming a sanctuary state.
We are going to cooperate with ICE.
That's State Representative J.D. Prescott explaining a 36-page bill that he co-sponsored. House Speaker Todd Houston says this bill requires state entities like schools and jails to work with immigration and customs enforcement.
We certainly want people that have committed criminal acts to go through the ICE system.
It also allows the Indiana Attorney General to take legal action against people who own businesses that hire people who they know are in the country illegally. Ryan Hedrick, Network, Indiana.
8 Delaware County wrestlers will compete in the state finals, including 6 individual champions. Delta Cowan, Yorktown, some of the schools. No Madison County advancers, 1 from Grant County. See the winner list on our local news page this morning. Girls high school basketball, Monroe Central reaches the semi-state for the first time in program history. LaPel wins its 5th. Ball State will host the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Director Alex Azar II for the 2026 McGovern Lecture Series tonight, 7 p.m., L.A. Pittenger Student Center Ballroom. Presentation free and open to the public. No mail home delivery today. Some schools are closed. Some are making up a weather day. Retail wide open. President's Day today. The death of 17-year-old Haley Busby has highlighted the deadly reality of online grooming.
Investigators say she was lured across state lines by a man she met through an online gaming platform. Nicole Probst of Prevent Child Abuse Indiana says there are some signs we can be aware of.
Offering gifts and money is a way of grooming as well. While kids might think it's flattering to get attention or it's cool to get a gift card or whatever it looks like, that is a key indicator of grooming.
She also urges parents to look for red flags like strangers asking about a child's location or caregiver schedule. Jeanette Cruz, Network Indiana.
31-year-old Megan Nicole Sloan has been ruled incompetent to stand trial. Committed to the State Department of Mental Health and Addiction, one of the 5 accused in the killing of 58-year-old Michael D. Greer, whose body was discovered in a burning car in Delaware County. State police announced on Thursday they've arrested a former Hamilton County employee in the 1992 murder of Tony Bledsoe.
The man they arrested was Andy Emmert, who lives in Atlanta, Indiana, and he used to be the utility superintendent and building commissioner. Court documents say Emmert, along with another man named Thomas Anderson, met up with Bledsoe in March of 1992, but they got into an argument over stolen car parts, and that led to the eventual killing of Bledsoe. Anderson was arrested last year. John Herrick, Network Indiana.
This week's round of Second Harvest Food Bank tailgate distribution start tomorrow at Elwood's Callaway Park. The rest of the week scheduled on our local news page this morning. Third grade teacher Karma Reedy's sister-in-law, Pradit Dawson, who is originally from Thailand, has prepared authentic Thai dishes for over 120 third graders at Blackford Intermediate School every year on the Taste of Thai Day. It's 1 week from today during the school day 8 to 12:30 and a community open house 4 to 5:30 p.m. at Blackford Intermediate Gymnasium. She'll do it again for the 20th time this year.
Public hearings will be held on proposed City of Anderson sewer and electric rate increases this week. The forums are scheduled for tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. and Thursday at 5:30 in the City Council chambers both evenings and then voted on.
The second and third readings would take place. Assuming the second reading passes, then the third reading, both of them take place on the 19th.
City Council President Greg Graham, Brett Busby, Wolf Boom Radio News.
Federal lawmakers introducing a bill last week that would ban smartphone use in Department of Defense education activity schools in the U.S. and abroad. Indiana Republican Senator Jim Banks is co-sponsoring the bill.
And this is a big bipartisan effort that Senator Slotkin and I led that we got passed to get them out of these schools. It'll make a big difference and make the education of our military kids even better than what it already is.
That from Fox's special report with Brett Baer. In Indiana, Senator Scott Alexander talks about a kid's social media ban that didn't work so far in the Senate.
I don't think there's any doubt that social media is hurting our kids, and it's trying to find a way to navigate that.
Legislation failed to move forward in the Indiana Senate.
Senator Rotz's bill out of the Senate, we were trying to get to a place and just couldn't, in the short time that we had this time, just couldn't get to an agreement before we got to the halfway point. But the House is working on an alternative that may be more acceptable.
The last part of his comment on WMUN Friday there was about work being done related to banning cell phone use in public schools.
Tyler Reddick admitted on Sunday that when you're at his level and drive a car co-owned by NBA legend Michael Jordan, you're expected to win. Emerging from a chaotic final lap to start out 2026 by winning his first career Daytona 500.
Last year was really hard for all of us, hard for me. I didn't know if I'd ever win this race.
Reddick, courtesy of Fox TV. Greg Thompson, Fox News.
The Indiana Pacers were fined by the NBA last week.
$100,000 for violating what they call the player participation policy. John Herrick, Network Indiana.
More local every day on our free wolfboomnews.com. Lots of live going on. Steve Lindell from our video studio on the campus of Wolf Boom Radio this Monday, leadoff day for another big week here in Muncie and Delaware County. Hey, why don't we get a quick snapshot of our day today?
It's February 16th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is Do a Grouch a Favor Day.
Go away. Close my candle in there. You're letting all the fresh air and sunlight in. Boy, I hate that.
This is the day to try and find the sweeter side of the grouch in your life. On this day in 2019, Pope Francis defrocks ex-cardinal and Archbishop of Washington, Theodore McCarrick, for sexually abusing minors and adults. He's the first cardinal to be removed for sexual abuse. Athens and parts of Greece covered in an unusually heavy snowfall in 2021. The snow stopped most public transport services in the capital, downing trees, causing blackouts in several suburbs, and halted COVID-19 vaccination. Born on this day in 1990 in Toronto, Canada, singer, songwriter, producer, The Weeknd. He was the star of the Super Bowl halftime show in 2021. I'm CJ Papa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
On WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk. We're the talk radio of Muncie. We also have pictures. It's in our video room, and we are talking about what people are chatting up. And now it's true. Yep, there is a week for everything.
This is House Call for Health. This week is National Certified Anesthesiologist Assistant Week. It's sponsored by the American Academy of Anesthesiologist Assistants to highlight the vital role they play. The American Society of Anesthesiologists says a certified assistant, or CAA for short, is a highly trained, graduate-level, non-physician anesthesia care professional. They've trained extensively in the delivery and maintenance of quality anesthesia care, in addition to advanced patient monitoring techniques. To become one, you first need a bachelor's degree in a pre-medical field like biology, physics, math, or chemistry. Next, you need to take a master's program in anesthesiology that generally takes between 24 and 28 months. They also have to gain experience by shadowing a CAA or anesthesiologist. Then they have to pass a national certification exam and obtain a state license. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady. Fox News.
On WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk. We are the talk radio of Muncie. We have the sports covered this afternoon, 4 to 5 p.m. It's the Power Hour. We're contractually obligated to say it like that. I'm going to make my guest Logan say that for me next. Our guests coming into our video room in a moment here on WMUN.
This week in Ball State Sports is a weekly Ball State athletics show, highlighting the Cardinal athletics programs, alumni, administration, and community. Join host and voice of the Cardinals, Mick Tidrow, right here on WMUN 92.5 FM, 1340 AM, and on Alexa, say play WMUN each Thursday morning from 9 to 9:30. Go Cardinals! Pride Mark Construction presents the Cards on WMUN.
Menards 11% rebate is here. From lighting to lumber, from doors to floors. The bigger the project, the bigger the rebate. From painting projects to that new kitchen makeover and designing that outdoor space of your dreams. Save big on any project you're tackling. Hurry into Menards for an 11% rebate on everything. Mail-in rebate is a merchandise credit check, not a point of sale discount. Redeemable on future in-store purchases only. Not on future purchases on Menards.com. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-444-2013 or biglou.com.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment.
Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Live, weekdays from 8 to 9 a.m. with replays later. This is the Daily Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell.
With a room full of guests, as you can see if you're watching the video replay. I talk for a living. Let's bring in our guests right now, and I'm going to let you introduce yourselves. Logan, I'm going to start with you first because you're closest to me on camera. Go ahead.
Sure. I'm Logan Taylor. I'm the administrator at Parker Health and Rehab.
All right. And Cindy?
Hi, I'm Cindy Lyons, and I'm from TLC Management.
And there are big things happening at Parker. I say Parker because everybody that is close to or in Parker City, they say that, don't they?
They do.
It's an official abbreviation of the entire city name. It's a beautiful little town, and your business in the midst of it is about to get a little bigger and more impressive than it already has been. Tell us what you've been working on, please, Logan.
That's right. For over the last year, we've been remodeling. So our assisted living is getting turned into a memory care unit for the community. Right now, we're anticipating the construction to be done at the end of this month, and hopefully have keys after the inspections and everything, have keys to the building and be able to get residents over there by the end of March.
It's fantastic. Memory care is obviously something that is really important, always has been, but even more so with the way that you can help and care for and really love and take good care of a lot of people that really wouldn't have as good of a situation as they could if they didn't have this kind of a facility. Cindy, your part in this, you're with TLC Management. What is that as it relates to how this is all set up?
Well, what we've done is we've created a program called BILLY, which stands for Balanced Interventions Leading to Laudable Yesteryears. And that's kind of our focus with our memory cares. We want to dive in deep, get a lot of the back history of the residents so that we can build off of that while we're taking care of them and walk with the families through the process.
I see that acronym, BILLY. It says it is built on one idea. Would you tell me what that one idea is?
Definitely just loving them, taking care of them.
That's fantastic. This is WMUN's Delaware County Today. Our guests in studio from Parker Health and Rehabilitation, Logan Taylor, administrator, and Cindy Lyons, corporate consultant with TLC Management. You're going to have a hard hat tour soon. Tell us about that, would you, Logan?
Yeah, so it's just opening the unit up, kind of building excitement for the upcoming unit. It'll be on February 26th from 4 to 7 p.m. We'll have catering food in there, with some raffle baskets for anybody that comes by to see the new unit. We're just excited to get everything kicked off.
Is it a bring your own hard hat, or will those be provided? Yeah, I actually have one. No, I don't. It was a silly question. I was just being silly. Parker Health and Rehabilitation in our studio this morning to talk about their upcoming Hard Hat Tour. Once this is up and running, if you could tell us, Cindy, how much of a need is there for this kind of a service and the ability that you will now have at Parker?
It's a large need, out in the community. As we see, we have larger generations that are aging faster, and the dementia care is much more needed. And it's something that we're able to offer to give our families that are struggling, that keep people home, and then they find that it's difficult. But that way they can be at the memory care unit and stay there and be taken care of with the dignity that they all deserve.
For those that have family members that have such maladies, to try and do this yourself as a family unit or whatever is quite an undertaking. And at some point it gets to a situation where there are some safety issues, there are obviously health concerns, there are some other things involved. To be able, Logan, to for a family to be able to turn over their loved one to people that are working in and around for your place is just such a relief for those families. Would you please talk a little bit about the people that you have working in your midst? I'd love to hear how your feelings are about the great staff that you have of caregivers.
Yeah, and our longevity of staff, I mean, we've had one of our staff has been there for 45 years. So, I mean, the longevity of our staff and just the community, it's outstanding, and it really is a community at Parker of we just care about our residents, and all our staff are very close with the residents, and it's just a beautiful thing. In a small town, you get those kinds of things.
Another thing too is that it's in a small town is an interesting flair too, because you're not in the midst of a lot of hustle and bustle. You're not in the midst of a lot of craziness out there. Parker City is just such a nice, quiet community, and to have Parker Health and Rehabilitation in the middle of that quiet community is a pretty cool thing too. Cindy, last words on your situation before we wrap up the segment today. Anything we haven't talked about with respect to the ability and the upgrades of the facility that you'd like to share before we go?
Yes, we also, at Parker, they also will be running a Namaste program for their residents.
Tell me what that is and how I cannot pronounce it off air correctly. They're laughing at me, but it's true. I said it wrong every time. Go ahead.
That's all right. The Namaste program is focused for our residents that need a lot more of the one-on-one time. It's very low stimulation, allows them to relax. It's more of kind of like a spa atmosphere. They come in, they get to recline in recliners, they're given massages, so there's a lot of sensory stimulation that goes on. It's very quiet and calm, and we've found that it really helps. It reduces a lot of stress for them.
That's terrific. Mm-hmm. I'll spell it for everybody. You want to look it up, folks. Namaste, and you're going to say it again.
Namaste.
Very good. That's exactly right.
It simply means honoring the spirit within.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for explaining that too. I appreciate that. Logan, last words to you as the administrator. You have to wrap up the segment here. Remind people of how welcome they are to attend this hard hat tour and anything else that we haven't covered, would you?
Sure. Yeah, and anybody that can make it on February 26th from 4 to 7 p.m. Like I said, there will be food, raffle baskets, and plenty of other stuff going on. So please swing by if you can.
All right. Excellent. Very nice to see you both. All three of you. There is also a silent partner in the back of the room who refuses to come on camera. Don, thank you very much. Don Wine for getting us the information for today's interview and the great things that are happening. This is another example, folks, of how in little old Parker City in Muncie, Indiana, Delaware County, how we have so many incredible ways, in this case, to care for people. And this is another example. Parker Health and Rehabilitation is exactly one of those examples. As we continue with more in a moment, this is Delaware County Today on WMUN.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Alex Brown. With less than 100 days until 33 drivers start their engines for the 110th Indianapolis 500, leaders at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway are shifting into gear, including also preparing for the first ever Freedom 250 on the streets of Washington, D.C. IMS and IndyCar president Doug Bowles.
Can't wait to see the images with the Washington Monument, which has Indiana limestone in it, obviously, and the Capitol, and just enjoying that, taking that product in a place that it's never been before. Really excited about that opportunity.
You can watch the full interview with Bowles from Inside Indiana Business Television at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. The Holy Cross College Board of Trustees has extended the contract of President Marco Clark through 2030. Clark has served in the role since 2022, and the board said Friday the extension affirms its confidence in the college's trajectory and future, as well as Clark's vision and leadership. This is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
In
Indiana University is shaping the future of healthcare with Hoosiers in mind. Advancing discoveries that become treatments for Alzheimer's, obesity, cancer, and rare diseases, and training the providers trusted to deliver them. From the lab to your local clinic, IU powers medical breakthroughs and the talent behind them. Discover how IU is solving what's next at iu.edu/impact.
Serving Indiana means being ready for growing energy demands. At Duke Energy, we're adding more power to the grid and working on hundreds of local projects to make your energy more reliable. We've strengthened nearly 20,000 poles, updated more than 270 substations, and prevented hundreds of thousands of outage hours with self-healing grid technology, so your power can come back on faster than ever. That's the smarter energy future Indiana deserves. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Business and economic development drives the 765. That's why WMUN News Radio created the website and the weekly radio show called 765businessjournal.com, Mondays from 9 to 9:30 a.m. Hosted by longtime Muncie resident and former broadcaster Lefay Pagese. Sponsored by IU Health, Town of Yorktown, MIPS, Ivy Tech Community College Muncie, Minnetrista, YMCA of Muncie. If you have tips or questions about business and economic development, email WMUN@woofboom.com. That's WMUN@woofboom.com. You can also call and leave a voice message at 289-6397. Listen to Delaware County Today on Alexa. Just enable the skill, then say, Alexa, play WMUN. Now back to Steve Lindell.
From our video studio on the campus of Woof Boom Radio on the south side of Muncie, Indiana, USA, this is Delaware County Today, live from this room. We have our main building full of movers and shakers on our staff coming together to hopefully have another great week of business and news and entertainment. And hopefully we can do what you need to do. If you ever need for us to do something, reach out. It's easy to do so. You can email anytime, WMUN@woofboom.com, WMUN@woof like the dog, boom like the firecracker.com, like the interwebs. Send us an email any hour, any day. You can also call us and leave a voicemail message. That's 289-NEWS, 289-6397. As we are obviously in another Monday now, let's go polling.
This is Poll Paris with Fox News Director of Polling, Dana Blanton.
As we look ahead to this year's congressional elections, voters are feeling gloomy. Our Fox News poll tells the story. More than half think the country is worse off than a year ago. Most 7 in 10 rate the economy negatively, and just 3 in 10 think it will get better this year. And that mood shows up in the House ballot test. If the election were today, by a 6-point margin, more voters say they would back the Democratic candidate in their congressional district than the Republican candidate. For comparison, in early 2022, Republicans were ahead by 1 point in the poll and went on to pick up 9 House seats that fall. Now, of course, national poll margins don't automatically translate into seats. And this is a good time to remind folks polls are snapshots. They can change based on issues, candidates, and events. We'll keep tracking it. You can too at foxnews.com/poll. I'm Dana Blanton. That's your Poll Paris.
On WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk. We're the talk radio of Muncie, and we also have the noon to 3 program, Today and Every Day. That is our Tony Katz Today, covering a lot of news and information, guests, and maybe some access to some things that you wouldn't have access to on a very timely basis. He'll also continue covering that story of the missing Mrs. Guthrie. That is just an unbelievable story that continues to just shake heads. Next item this morning is actually closer to home here on campus at Ball State University. The Ball State Daily News reported that overnight there were possible gunshots at Studebaker West Hall. The latest that we have on that via the Daily News, Greg Fallon, who is the Chief Digital Marketing and Communications Officer for the university, confirmed via email that there was no threat to campus, but that is all that has been released officially as of yet. We've reached out to Mr. Fallon. No reply as of yet. I'm sure there is a lot to go through and keep track of. When we know more, we will certainly tell you here on WMUN and Wolf Boom Radio Group. Next item now, the passing of an Indiana political figure.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. Former longtime Democratic Indiana Representative Lee Hamilton died recently. Hamilton was a Democrat in a district which leaned Republican. He served in Congress for 34 years, chairing the House Foreign Affairs Committee. But he's best known as vice chairman of the 9/11 Commission. He also served as co-chair of the joint House-Senate inquiry investigating Iran-Contra. A pro-life Democrat, Hamilton apparently finished second to Al Gore when President Clinton chose his running mate in 1992. One of the strikes against Hamilton was his opposition to abortion rights. Hamilton was one of the most universally praised members on both sides of the aisle. At 6'4", Hamilton was a former high school and college basketball star. He sported a crew cut, which looked like something out of Hoosiers. Ironically, the high school in Milan, Indiana, on which the Gene Hackman movie is based, was in Hamilton's district. Former President Obama presented Hamilton with the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2015. Lee Hamilton was 94 years old. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
On WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk. What are we doing with sports this week? Hold on a second. Sports of all sorts, looking at the list here. The Wolf Boom Radio Group also includes Oldies 101. Zach Johnson and George Bremer call those games. Shortridge is at Anderson in boys basketball tomorrow. That is Tuesday, the 17th of February. 7:15 the airtime on that one. Here on WMUN, 92.5 FM, 1340 AM, and all the rest. Ball State men's basketball. That's a 6:30 start time with Mick Tidrow, voice of Cardinals, here on WMUN. And then also on Tuesday, there is one of those video-only broadcasts that we'll have. The Muncie Central Bearcat basketball boys will be at Yorktown, 7:30 p.m. You get the video and the play-by-play from all of our great sponsors. We appreciate all of them for making all of that a possibility. On Wednesday this week, Ball State women's basketball is on WMUN as usual, presented by Pride Mark Construction. 5:30 is the pregame on that one. Thursday this week, there is a radio and video broadcast. That will be high school boys basketball. Pendleton Heights is at Delta. 6:50 p.m. is the planned pregame on that one, and that's far enough for now. That's a lot to keep track of, and if you ever want to know what we're doing when, follow the socials. Go to the WMUN on the various social media platforms, the Facebook. There's lots and lots of things to keep track of there. Kurt Darling, Wolf Boom Sports Director, does a fantastic job with previewing what we're going to be doing on those various social platforms, so you can not only hear it, you can a lot of times see it. And if you ever want to reach out and ask us maybe if we would do your school's ball game or whatever, feel free to reach out. You can call and leave a voicemail message. Be nice. Compliments are very nice, too. 289-6397, 289-NEWS, if you want to look at the little buttons with the letters on your phone. Or you can email WMUN@wolfboom.com. What are we at here? 8:49 almost now. 11 almost until 9 o'clock. Oh, I can preview what's going to come up top of hour. This is Monday, so our regular talk block right after Delaware County Today will include the 9 a.m. show called 765businessjournal.com. The radio show is hosted by Lethea Pegues, who is a business person in and of himself. He is outstanding on our staff, and he brings in some movers and shakers and some people that are doing great business stuff behind the scenes that you may not know about. We'll have a replay best of show today. Do you remember the guy that says all roads lead to the 5? That from, I think it was a mid or a late December guest appearance on that program. We'll play from 9 to 9:30 today. Then at the bottom of the hour, 9:30, we'll bring in Dr. Joe Mashevitz like we do every Monday. That one's called All Kinds of People. His guest today will be Ryan Staley. That will maybe not be familiar to you, the name, but you're going to want to hear this story. This is a young man who is on campus and around Ball State University. He is in charge of a lot of things, not the least of which is school spirit. You'll hear all about it from 9:30 to 10 this morning. All of those shows air on radio first, and then afterwards, the podcast page of our website, WMUNmuncie.com. You can replay those. You can save them to your hard drive. You can share them with family, friends, whatever. Just make sure that you make use of all of this great information that we're putting together for you, because we use our voice to build and connect our community. That is a mantra that we live every day at WMUN and the Wolf Boom Radio Group. Coming up on 8:51, we're still just a moment or two away from one of our final features of the day. I do want to look ahead for you, if you don't mind. A busy week here on the radio and on the video, too. We're in the video studio here on the campus of Wolf Boom Radio. Tomorrow, invited guest is Sue Arrington. Indiana State Rep will be in here, scrolling back on my schedule, 8:30 in the morning on Tuesday. And then the Wednesday plan includes Chase Bruton, Town Manager, Yorktown. The principal of Muncie Central High School, Chris Walker, will be in at 8:30 on Wednesday morning. 8:45 is when we have the plan for Mick Tidrow, voice of Cardinals and all that. I say we have the plan because he has an exceedingly busy week. I saw his picture on the social media yesterday. He was wise as a married man to not do his work on Valentine's Day. Wait a second. He actually had a game or two that he had to do on Valentine's Day. Ooh, work gets in the way. Mick Tidrow, voice of Cardinals, and the Cardinals as are on our radio station, Good English Steve, presented by Pridemark Construction. Sheriff Tony Skinner is a Thursday guest, and Friday, tentatively, Becca Clausen from Second Harvest Food Bank ECI, and State Rep J.D. Prescott is a Friday guest as well. That's just what we have planned so far. And I say so far because things happen and things change all the time. We try to be on top of it, and we try to talk about what people are talking about in Muncie, Delaware County, here on Wolf Boom Radio's WMUN. Checking the clock one more time, getting closer now to our final feature of the morning. And again, for those that are listening, including my mama in Minnesota, and Roger, great talking to you yesterday, Mom. It's always great talking to you. Sister Sherry, left coast. I bet California's listening. I bet Chicagoland is out there too. Can't see that screen for all of you digital listeners, but I'm glad you're there, and thank you for listening today and every day. All right, final item now. A NASA mission will showcase the first Black American to orbit the moon.
Celebrating Black History Month.
At some point before the end of April, NASA is expected to launch its Artemis II mission, a first U.S. manned return to the moon in more than 50 years. At the helm of Artemis will be the pilot, Victor Glover. He stands to be the first Black American to orbit the moon. Glover understands the significance of his role on Artemis and the history of it. But he said with talk of races, be it his Black background or the International Space Race, the most important race to him is the relay race, handing off to the next mission.
There's a saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And we are going together, and our mission success is built on handing off a starting point to Artemis 3 that sets our country and our partners up to go back to the surface of the moon.
Some expect that will come later in the decade, with perhaps another Black American taking that next giant leap for mankind. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
And we do have hot mics and hot video. We're glad that you're watching the replay or listening live to Delaware County Today on WMUN. I'm Steve Lindell, happy to be visible to you, but also happy to bring you into the life and times of everything Muncie in Delaware County. We use our voice to build and connect our community. For Jackson Jacoby producing in the Axia Command Center, doing a great job. Steve Lindell on WMUN.
As you know, managing maintenance, repair, and operations is never easy.